Welcome to the Impactful Engineer Project. I'm Steve Maxey, and with my co-host and brother Jake, we are here to bring you guidance, fresh ideas, and the tools to help you become an impactful engineer. Welcome to the Impactful Engineer. Our mission is to help you grow your engineering career and inspire you to pursue your full potential as not only an engineering professional, but as a member of your greater community. I'm Steve Maxey, and I'm a mechanical engineering manager in new product development. And I'm here with my brother Jake, who is a professional electrical engineer for an MEP firm. Hello, Jake. How are you?
What's up?
So this is a momentous occasion.
I think so.
Episode 100.
How did we get here? Well, we committed to 100 from the very start.
We did. And we commit to even more than that. Let's double it.
Let's just commit to 200.
Yep.
Now
right
we
now.
cannot stop.
Absolutely.
For whatever reason. Even if our listener count drops to just nothing, we just got to keep going because we said we would.
Yeah. But you know what? We're not going to go to zero because we're growing. So
well, it only keeps climbing, so I can't imagine.
Absolutely. All right. So real quick housekeeping. Within this podcast, we do have a few episode types. Our most common episode is where Jake and I present a topic where we introduce the why and how around that topic and give some tips to inspire some action. Occasionally, we will have a solo episode where Jake or I will have something on top of mind that we really want to get off our chest and inspire you to take some immediate action to improve your career. And finally, about once a month, we will have a long format guest episode where we bring in an expert in a particular field to share their perspective, mindset, and maybe some actionable tips around their area of genius. All right. So let's talk about a topic that has been top of mind for me a bunch lately because I've met some individuals who fall into this category. And I think it's anyone with enough dedication and fortitude can become an engineer, right? Within reason, of course. We've talked to countless engineers through our careers on the show, or through our careers as well as on the show, and no one story is the same, right? Everyone has to overcome some sort of adversity in their journey to become an engineer. Adversities can range from across the spectrum, right? But what matters most is to use your own hardships to fuel your drive to accomplish your goals, right? Prove that nothing will get in your way from you becoming what you want to be. So that's kind of setting it up. Despite us being half brothers, we have quite a different path towards becoming engineers ourselves.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, which is super fun. So today I'd like for each of us to share our stories with our listeners because it may inspire someone out there that is questioning if they should pursue a engineering degree.
Yeah.
And we can inspire them to make that first step toward walking that path. So let's erase that doubt.
I like that connection. I like the erasing the doubt. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. If you're inspired to be an engineer or heck, hey, any professional adjacent, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Listen in and let's just imagine yourself 5, 6, 7 years from now and you're kicking ass and you're rocking and rolling and you come back around and we've got 800 episodes and you listen to, top to bottom and kick ass in your career. How about that? Let's
Absolutely.
do it.
So let's walk through our stories, right? Let's go from our high school to landing our first engineering job. And we'll highlight the adversities we faced, the achievements that we had, and how we navigated that path. So do you want to go first or would you like me to go first?
I'll go first.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
I think yours is more impactful and I want to make people get through the episode so they can listen to it.
I disagree. I think you have a lot of value as well, man.
Well, it's there's value, but there's also impact too. So, but I'll try to make it as impactful as possible. For me, you said high school, starting high school. I guess, getting out of the way early, all the typical, you're good at math, you're good at science, whatever. I would say that I was able to pull good grade letters through all those courses. That's what I'll say. Okay. Yeah. Am I some whiz? No. but in high school it seemed to be pretty easy. So I was good at it, right? So it was a kind of a pre-qualification. You have the good grades, you can apply, you can get in, you take all the physics and all that. I was highly involved in music. I loved music, which they say is another kind of a gateway into a mathematical mind. But loved music, played in the band, the wind ensemble, the jazz band, the marching band, all the stuff. Most of my school days were around music, which was great. That's the way I wanted to set up. I would say so kind of like, you worked through school and you got good grades in high school and maybe you met your significant other in high school and then maybe your 4.0 turned into a 3.83, say that happened maybe. The honors chem grades went down a little bit. That was fun. So coming time to decide, what do I do, right? A lot of the advice and what I thought was good to prepare myself for real life, quote unquote, was to pursue a college degree in an area where I could physically look around or search online and see that people were making good money in it. Okay, because I wanted a family pragmatic. And I want to be able to support my family. Right?
That's very pragmatic.
It is. I didn't have the dreams that I do now, for sure. I wasn't a dreamer. I didn't have the perspective I do now around how you can make money in this world. It might have changed a few things, just a little bit, because I know I could make a very good living, being a musician for sure with social these days and all that. But anyway, pragmatic approach. My best friend happened to be into electrical, just coincidence. He'd been working with his dad, who was a contractor all his life, and he was very good at it, right? Practically. So he was going to go pursue his electrical engineering degree, and I'm like, hey, makes money. I'm good at these kind of things. Let's do it. So kind of abandoned the music thing for this engineering thing. So that's really how I decided that path. So I guess the impact would be if there's anybody out there that's just kind of, wasn't the Lego builder. I wasn't the nerd that took apart all the things and put it back together and it worked. I had no clue about any of that. I liked working out and playing my music and doing and working. I liked making money. Those are the three things that I did.
Yeah. So let me ask you this then. So going through university, did you at any point in time go, shit, I shouldn't have picked this because, it is not my natural state to be building Legos and taking apart things and figuring out why, they work, etc. Did that ever happen to you during your course through university?
Yes, absolutely. I kind of like, I had my eye on the prize and I was head down with my goals, which was get the degree and start working in the field. But college is an experience, to put it lightly. So as you work through it, the goals kind of start halfway through. I poked my head up and I said, wow, where am I? What am I doing? Out of my textbooks and all this shit. And I thought, man, but I'm already this far. I'm someone who completes things, I've since learned the difference between letting something go and quitting. But back then it was, you committed to this thing, you're going to fucking finish it. Right?
No matter what.
No matter what,
Yeah,
so that's my mindset. So I came up and I'm like, I would really love to do this. I would like to get back into music, or I would like to open a chain of restaurants, or because it's really fun. And if you own, you could determine your own destiny and make the money you want. I'd like to do these things, but I was in it already. So I was like, I'm going to finish. So school was hard for me, partly because of things pulling me in different directions. Maybe focus was leaving a little too much. I did work full time, 40 plus hours a week while going to school full time, to support me and my wife and just us getting through. Right. So that was kind of a distraction, quote unquote, too. It took a lot of my time, but I finished. It was difficult. I didn't have the greatest GPA, but I understood about 50% of what was yelled in my face or in the books, cramming for the tests and then having a lot of it leave my brain, all that good stuff. But I eventually made it back and circled back into engineering to leverage the degree that I had.
Well,
And that was 12 years ago.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. Because you did have a point in your journey here that you got your degree and you didn't have a job lined up. You didn't,
Correct. Didn't
go
even care
into
to.
engineering immediately after graduating. So let's talk about that gap.
I graduated and then I immediately took my FE Fundamentals of Engineering exam because I knew it would be really hard if I ever did go back. I was like, all this stuff's fresh in my mind, so I just took that, passed that, got the certificate. Doesn't expire. Boom. And then I just put it on the shelf. Worked at a pizzeria for 3 more-ish years, like about that. Plans to open up additional stores and stuff like that. I think in the end, when Claire was born, and then real life started knocking harder on the door with insurance and this payment and daycare and the schooling and all this, the stuff started coming together. Then there was some opportunities mixed in there that we had some opportunities back home. We had some opportunities in Chico. And then I think that the final thing was fear. So I didn't have a whole grasp on the larger overall workings of the world at that point. And I decided that the safer thing was to go get an engineering job and sit at a desk 9 to 5,
Yeah.
So that's kind of what put me back into the engineering path. I was like, all right, let's just do the safe thing.
Hey, my fellow impactful engineers. If there's one thing that you could do to help out this community, it's to keep listening to the podcast, but also if you found value in it, to share it with one person, give us a 5-star review, or even leave a text review. It'll only take a few seconds of your time. Find that person that you think could enjoy some of this or learn from it, and pass on the good word. Now back to the show.
Did you find it hard when you landed your very first job to get up to speed because you had that gap?
No, because I knew how to learn. And by then, because I'm not too old, all right, I'm getting old, but I'm not too old. We had all the resources that in general people have today to learn things. Go online, read forums.
Yeah.
There's so much information. And now with ChatGPT, it's like you can learn so much, dude. It's all at your fingertips. There's just, whatever. That's a different conversation.
Yeah. Knowledge is not a limiting factor.
No, it's not, man. So I just get there, ask questions. What is this? And I didn't know shit, and I was stupid, and Oh, and it's what was worse? It was a small town, right? So like anybody who's educated, even in a professional setting, most people didn't have a degree, right? They just knew it because they were good at it and have been doing it for 30 years. So it was like, oh, I see what the university systems are pumping out these days. I get that all the time, and so I was just like, yeah, I'm an idiot. God damn it. But I'm going to figure this out and shove it in your face. Right. You're going to eat those words. Right. That's just who I was. So I would just cram and learn, and very quickly came up to speed and succeeded and got paid the money I wanted and had the position and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Using a lot of the stuff that we talk about too.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that was kind of the beginning of you starting to figure some of this stuff out.
Oh yeah. My personal development journey started in like 2013.
Yeah.
So it's like a year into it.
Yeah.
Making all those connections. Oh, that's how the world works. Wow.
Yeah.
This is the mindset that frees me from all this anxiety. Cool. Yeah.
Let's travel back a little further into university. I do remember a story that was pretty impactful. You had a professor. I'm trying to remember the story. That is, if it's on top of mind.
Was it the one that helped me pass, or was it the one that gave me another shot? Because I got 2 stories. It
could be either or. Let's go with what is the most applicable here that could really help someone.
Man, the common struggle. I don't know if my struggles are common at all. I'll just cover both of them real quick.
Okay, let's do it.
One was I'm working too much.
Yeah.
Right. And I chose certain things in the limited hours I had after work and class to do different things other than study. Okay. And keep up because I was exhausted. Whatever. Excuses. Get to the final. I'm so just frenetic and just one thing to the next thing. with all the things I have going on in my life that I got the time wrong for the final, right? So I'm already not doing great. I need to do well in this final. I studied a little bit. And then I show up an hour and a half late to a 2-hour final period.
Oh, man.
And I just go, oh, my heart sank a little bit. And I'm just like, Well, I walked in and I said, Professor, I will see you next semester. I'm done with this. This ain't going to happen. I'll see you next semester. So he's all, that sounds good. I just walked out. Signed up for the course again, got an A the next time because I had reprioritized my life and got it together. But that's the funniest thing. So that's one. I don't know how impactful that is, but maybe if it's like, it's not the end of the damn world if you fail a course, like, just do it again.
Yeah, just take it again.
Just take the break and go for it again.
Yeah, I've had to take a course over, and honestly, it sinks in your head a lot better anyways. So it's not the end of the world at all.
Yeah. And the other one's like, I don't know how impactful it is, but it's like, I went into the final. There's one thing that tripped me up in the very beginning. It was like a networking class, so I'm literally patching things and programming and setting up these network switches and stuff like that. And there was just one little thing that tripped me up in the beginning. I knew pretty much everything else. I covered it with him, and he's like, "Man, if that 0 just would have been a 1, right?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah," to get past whatever the fucking thing was that I need to get past. And then we just sat and had a conversation, and I'm like, networking is not my core. This is an elective class. You were, like one of the most enjoyable classes that I've had. But we talked about all the stuff we're supposed to learn. We had a good conversation. I let him know. I was like, dude, I work so much because my parents don't have the money. I get very limited federal aid, and I'm paying for this like as I go through it and taking loans. Which is common for everybody. I'm not like. I'm not like saying, oh,
no
me,
sob story there
like,
or anything.
It's like, this is just the truth. These are the facts,
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, yeah, man, working really hard. I accept whatever is the result of this final, right? If it pushes me into failing this class and I need to make up some credits, then that's what I'm going to do, And he's like, cool, man. Like, thanks for being like honest and actually talking to me about it instead of just freaking out, keeping it to yourself. And I'm like, yeah. No worries. If you come by Celestino's, and I'll hook you up with a slice of pizza if you want one. Okay, cool. So I walk away. And then we get our grades, and I see a B- in there. And I'm like, this guy's fucking cool. So he helped me out there. It very well could have been a non-passing grade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was cool. But anyway, I guess points for being open and honest. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the moral of that story is. Yeah. Poor Jake, like whatever, he's an idiot.
It was the first one that was in my head.
Gotcha.
The first story, but yeah,
I'm thinking like Brian Regan, like just with his cup of dirt, just put an F on it and send me home. He's talking about the science fair. He's like, I've had 9 months to work on this science project and I've done nothing. Just put an F on it and send me home. But anyway, good, solid career out of that. Didn't take my low GPA or the hardships I had during school and beat myself up. I'm not one to beat myself up, but I imagine some people might. But I didn't do that. I just like went forward and then learned. Dude, you learn so much more once you get out of school, on the job. Training and learning and getting and perfecting the work is so rewarding and it's so fun. And you could have a great career out of that. If you're striving for the PhD and you're going to do research and development and you're going to be in academia for a long time and doing research at universities and stuff like that, then yeah, of course, like you need to be very good at all the material as you go so that you can, cause it's all builds on one another, right? You can't go to this if you haven't mastered this yet. But that wasn't my path, so,
yeah. What was your final university GPA?
I think it was like 2.6 or something.
Okay.
It was really bad. Like what, for all the people out there doing the math and all the remember school, I kind of blocked it out of my memory. Whatever, like a nice C, lower C average is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Put that number in there.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't care. I don't know where
it doesn't
my
matter.
diploma is. I don't know where that is. I don't care at all. It's weird. It's kind of weird, right?
I know.
I don't know where it is.
One person that I work with right now actually hangs up their degree. Like most people don't.
Yeah, I don't know where my certificates are for all my licenses I have. I like to do work. I like to be happy and achieve stuff. That's my thing.
Yeah.
A piece of paper doesn't tell me that any of that. So
yeah, and I think another point to note that you didn't mention was you did the stepping process, right, where you went to a community college first.
Yes,
for a couple years.
I did,
and then
it was a pretty much, hey, do good here, and you're in.
Yeah,
right to that engineering school. So that's what I did.
Okay.
Lived in my friend's apartment for $200 a month.
I remember that.
Worked at Good Times, pizza. Got into trouble, all the good stuff. Yeah.
Pizza is a staple in your life, even to this day.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, and one other thing, there's some good, hang on to the good professors. Like, you'll find them, and spend time with them and peel their knowledge out, and take advantage of the office hours, even just to talk for a little bit, get involved that way, get to know your professors. It just makes it for a smoother process. I was like, I had, a couple good teachers that I really liked, but for the most part, I was like in my shell doing my own thing. I'm just going to tackle this myself. I recommend doing the opposite of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you're like me and you're alone and you're the lone wolf kind of person, like try to break out of that a little bit.
Yeah.
So much better.
Okay. You ready for mine?
That's it, man. I mean, that's a huge chunk of my life, and that's it. Distill it down to
15 minutes. Yeah. Well, I'll do the same, right? So let's start in high school. Let's see.
Which one?
Yeah, I know. I'll just start with the last one because we don't need to talk about the rest of them. Yeah. So as Jake alluded to, I've been to 3 high schools. And I don't even really count the last one because I was there for a few months. So for those that don't know, my birthday is 9/11, and on that famous day, I turned 18, and that was my senior year of high school. And so I had more interesting things to do than go to school, and so I would just sign myself out and leave and go do what I wanted. So that was my start. And
you know what the difference is, Steve? For some reason, the things I wanted to do were on campus.
Yeah.
That's literally the only reason I was there.
Yeah. I did not want to be on campus.
Yeah, you didn't know I'd be there.
No. So when I left high school, so I actually took what's called the California Proficiency Exam. So it's a step above a GED. You actually get a diploma from the state, not your actual high school. But so I took that in, was it November? Or I received the diploma in November of my senior year. And so I left immediately because I didn't want to be there. But anyways, I had a GPA of a 1.97 in high school. So very stellar. And then so I immediately went to work at Taco Bell and Jamba Juice and ran jobs for quite some time. And I just like to party and hang out and not focus on being successful whatsoever.
All the grilled stuffed steak burritos.
Oh boy. Yeah. So anyways, I did go to community college, both in our hometown as well as down in the Bay Area in California. And I didn't really do much there. I just took some computer classes because I was like, oh, I'm interested in computers, so I'll just take some classes there and maybe get my networking certificate or some bullshit like that. But I didn't really do well. I got, some B's and D's and C's and, stuff like that. I did a lot of partying, and that was just kind of my life for 3 years, I think, after high school. And then my grandmother, so this is not Jake's grandmother, it's my mom's mom, so we have different moms, was like, hey, you need to get your shit together. I will pay your tuition if you go to a 4-year university. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. And I was,
deal.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a deal, right? And I was kind of a reject of society. I was getting myself into some trouble. I was hanging out with wrong people and stuff like that. I won't dive into too many details there, but I was not on the right path to a successful life, a meaningful life at the time. And so it's like, okay, fine, I'm going to go to university. Well, what the hell am I going to do? So at the time, I just got into cars. So I was a late bloomer as far as car enthusiasts are concerned. But I've always had, like we talk about that stereotypical knack for Legos and taking shit apart and figuring things out. I've always had that. I just never applied it except for building computers. And rebuilding my high school car a couple times because I blew it up multiple times. But anyways, I was never interested in cars. So I finally got interested in cars from a couple friends at the time. And so I was like, okay, fine. I want to go to school and be successful with cars. And I asked our dad, who was an auto body guy. I was like, hey, how can I make money doing cars? And he was like, don't be a mechanic or a body guy. Don't do anything when it comes to fixing or maintaining vehicles at all. And I was like, well, shit, what do I do? So I looked around and did some research on the old Google, because Google did exist back in these days. And I found, I was like, hey, people who design cars make decent money, and they're not fixing shit and getting all grease all over the place. So let's do that. Okay, what do I have to do? Oh, become a mechanical engineer. Okay, let's do that. So I started looking at what it takes to be a mechanical engineer. I was like, well, shit, I can't get into a university. I have dog shit for a GPA. I've never taken a entrance exam test or SAT or any of that bullshit. So how the hell am I going to do this? Well, luckily, our stepmom at the time had a friend at the university that she attended, which is Oregon Tech. That was in the admissions office. And so she called her up and be like, hey, I have this stepson. She probably said some things that I probably didn't want to hear.
I have this thing.
Yeah, I have this human being that is related to me somehow. But anyways, he is interested in becoming a mechanical engineer. We'd like to tour the school. Okay, cool. So we went up there, toured the school, and Valerie was our stepmom's name. She explained to her friend kind of my situation, and she's like, well, he's not going to be able to get in normally, but there is a way. And she basically laid it out, and this is how it goes. If you move to the state, so first you move to the state to establish residency, because this is Oregon, I lived in California. So move to the state for a year and work, establish residency. During that time, you can take part-time classes as a non-admitted student. So you don't even have to apply at all. You just sign up, get your student ID, and sign up for classes and pay for them out of pocket. Okay, cool. My grandmother said she'd pay for tuition, so got that covered. So just took 2 classes a term, right? So this is a quarter system-based school. So I took 6 classes that first year, 2 per term. That was under 9 credits. I was a non-admitted student. And I got like a 3.8 GPA because I actually gave a fuck. So, wow, weird.
Yeah.
So I took these 6 classes, got a 3.8 GPA. I was working full-time at Staples and then O'Reilly Auto Parts. And I applied to get into the school, and I did not give them my high school transcripts at all. I was like, nope, I'll sign up for all the extra shit I have to supposedly take. Don't care. You're not seeing that.
Yeah.
So I did give him the one term of Shasta College that had like a 3-point-something GPA, not the Santa Rosa Junior College that didn't have a good GPA. So I gave him that as my only previous schooling. And I got in. And so here I was, a derelict of society in an engineering school, which was fantastic. So that's how I got into school. Now,
so monumental task,
yes, yes,
just to get in.
Yeah,
I just walked into a community college and said, "Hey, I'm here,"
Yeah.
and then I went over there.
Yeah. So where there's a will, there's a way, right? You can figure it out.
That's right.
And school was fucking hard for me, not because of the subject matter itself. I mean, most classes were pretty easy. There's a couple that were really challenging, and I did fail a couple because they were hard. But the hardest part of school for me was consistency and going to class, doing the work, et cetera, because my
You were
natural
used to that.
Yeah, my natural state was to fuck off and do what I want.
Yep.
And now I had complete freedom of doing whatever the hell I wanted. And what kept me going was the fact that I felt an obligation because my grandmother was paying my tuition to complete. And that's really what drove me to actually follow through and get my degree. It was because someone else was counting on me to do it, right? Someone was investing in me to do it. Now I still had to take out loans to cover rent and books and a bunch of other shit, right? But she still covered that tuition, so that obligation was there to do that. So that's how I got through school, and it took me 5 years because that 1 year plus the 4 years, right? So, but I graduated, and I graduated with 2.98 GPA. It was like just under a 3.0. So I usually just say 3.0 on my resume.
There you go.
Well, when I was first applying, now no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I graduated. But I graduated in 2010, which was in the middle of the recession, and no one was fucking hiring at all. So It took me 10 months to get my first job, and I was applying, and this is where I was really hustling. I probably had 100 interviews and applied at 300 or 400 different jobs across multiple states.
And that's what I love, Steve. That's what I love. I love that story. I did the same thing when I moved to the East Coast, because it was during COVID and there was a hiring freeze.
Yep.
I love the just blitzkrieg, massive amounts of effort, and like the things I see online about like, sending resumes to a black hole is not the right. It's like yeah, that's part of the game is now to be visible, right? And you listen to Steve Flanagan's show, episode called The Game, you'll get that piece of it. But like, there's a whole other piece, man, and that's hard ass work, and that's sending out hundreds.
Yes.
Making calls, talking to voicemails, walking through doors.
Yep.
Here I am, right?
I would just cold turkey show up at places, just open the door, slam my resume on the desk, and be like, I need a job. Can I have an interview? Yeah. And man, I could not get it. And eventually I succumbed to a staffing agency, and that's what landed me my very first job in aerospace. So that's my story. We are running out of time here, so I do want to wrap this up. Hopefully this helps someone out there understand that no matter your situation, no matter the adversities that you are facing, you will be able to achieve your goals no matter what.
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
If you learned something today or think someone else needs to hear this point of view, please share the show. It's the best way we can grow this podcast and continue to create value and impact for the engineering community.
Go get yourself an awesome story. Just go, man. Go create a great story and let us know how it goes.
Hell yeah.